what I will say is I think why the food industry has struggled is because I would call that a race to the bottom mentality, right? And what happened is if the only comparable of your product is price, then you're a commodity, right? So in this scenario of this burger is $4.99, this burger is $5.99. Which burger are you going to buy? Everyone's going to buy the $4.99 burger if all I'm talking about is the price.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where storytelling and marketing and ethics and all those things really show up, right? And in the example of wages is what you said, if all I'm talking about is wages and that's all I care about, then yeah, I'm going to go to the place that has the highest wage. But the reality of that is that is the bare minimum of what it means to be an employer, of what it means to have a career, of what it means to be proud of what you do. And that to me is the number one, like, you know, this may be privileged, but in the aspect of I would way rather be proud of what I do every single day and make $1 or $2 less an hour than go into the same exact space and know that I'm making $1 or $2 more, but cook food that I don't care about and be a part of a community or something like that that I don't think is doing anything.
When people leave jobs, so, you know, they always say they don't leave jobs, they leave bosses or whatever, right? But you look at it, and when someone comes to you and they say they're leaving because I'm going here for 50 cents, that's nothing. Like,
right.
In the grand scheme of things, it's nothing. It's, you know, $25 a month or something like that. I wouldn't leave a job that I'm happy at for $25 a month. You know, that's gas station snacks.
Right.
So really then the focus becomes on looking at the, I would say maybe total compensation package, but it's also the other things like, are you offering wellness benefits or PTO, all these other things that factor into it.
Well, and so my argument would be even more important than all of that.
Yeah.
It's where do I see this taking me?
Yeah.
Right. So if I know that I'm probably not going to get that chef job, then my stability changes. But if I know that in this company, they have 40 other career paths that I can pick and choose from that take me for the course of 30 years to an earning potential of $250,000 a year when I'm 50, that 25 cents means nothing.
Right.
It's the same thing with school, right? Like everyone gets on culinary school. Culinary school is amazing if it turns into that you end up being a chef and you have a long-term society and all those sort of things with that. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't work as well. And so that's where, you know, do you go and get paid to learn and work somewhere or not?
What does that look like in your organization right now currently? So for people that are listening and maybe because you have quite the large empire now.
Yeah, we have 775 employees today.
Wow. I remember, like, I'm thinking back to when we met, like, I think Emmer had just opened.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and I mean, I tell that story, not often because I don't do podcasts that often, but where, you know, when we opened, we were not immediately successful. And it's a really hard kind of vulnerable moment where you're putting yourself out there, which is what a restaurant is, at least when you're taking a stance. But if I'm making a restaurant that's just tried and true and simple, and I'm not trying to take a stance in that, then maybe I'm not putting myself out there. But Emmer and Rye, we were trying to have a voice that meant something, that was worth saying. And because of that, we really did a lot of things differently. And we attracted people to that, many of whom are still with us today, to leave sous chef jobs to become line cooks for what we were doing. And when we opened, we were doing 30 covers. And we still hadn't figured out exactly who our customer was, which is kind of a unique thing to think about, right? Because you think that great food resonates with everybody. And it just doesn't, right? You're fantastic if it resonates with 70% of people. Now, the thing is, 25 of that remaining 30% are going to naturally filter themselves out because they're not going to go to a restaurant that doesn't sound appealing to them. So if your capture rate is only 70% when people eat there, you've got a big problem. But you know, we were really unsuccessful. And so we were, you know, I had run 5 restaurants. I was the director of ops in Arizona before I came to Austin, and I kind of sold out of that and finished that because I wanted to do something like Emmer and Rye that was unique, that I knew was going to take every ounce of our creative and thought process that